Hey everyone, ColdBrew here, back with Diablo Immortal, and I've changed the class in my account, for my account. So I was a Crusader. If you guys seen my previous video, I was enjoying Crusader a lot, but as a content creator, I want to be doing content all of the time, and to freshen things up, I said, okay, I haven't done a proper class change so far, so I said I might as well try out my god, I might as well try out the barbarian. And what a mistake this is so far. I'm not really enjoying the class, but I'm pushing through it. I'm trying to farm for getting those essences, and I'll go and show you guys how many I've farmed so far. I'm still missing shoulder piece, I'm still missing a pants piece, but so far the barbarian is not an okay experience in terms of being a melee class. I feel like the Crusader has lots of the same things, but does it better, especially with the banner, especially with the horse. You're having draw and quarter there. You don't have so much control in the Crusader as the barbarian, I would say. With all some of these pieces that I see, there's potential there to build something. So I'm not gonna give it give my verdict for the class just yet, but so far it's challenging to say the least, even for just doing damage. All right, even for just doing damage and clearing rifts, which is a very common thing to compare clearing a rift with the Crusader versus the barbarian. So far the Crusader does it in half the time, literally half the time. And maybe it's my build, maybe I'm just doing a really bad build, but I've got two builds. All right, let me show you the two builds, and I'm happy for you guys out there that might be watching this video just to put your builds down below so I could copy them and try it out. So I've got two builds so far from recommendations. The one of them is the PvP one, where you basically use Wrath of the Berserker, you use Sprint to catch up to people and also remove movement impairing, and then you use Furious Charge to control enemies, and of course you have Undying Rage. So the idea is the power of damage comes from single target attacks, which is, you know, you might also need to get the Shalbaz set and maybe some other sets such as the Vithu 4 piece, so you get the attack speed boost when you pop Berserker's Rage, this one right here. And I still think you use Lancery, right? I still think it's Lancery that you use for the PvP build. All right, before we continue, I got these two images for a PvE and a PvP build by a clanmate of mine. So the PvE build and the PvP build both use a 4-set Vithus and a 2-set Shalbaz as the way to go for the sets, but the skills that they use are a little bit different, with, as I said, the PvP focusing on single target, using the default skill to be killing the enemies with Undying Rage, Sprint, Wrath of the Berserker, and Furious Charge, as I told you guys. But for PvE, you use Lancerate, Wrath of the Berserker, Sprint, Demoralize, and Furious Charge. So it's a little bit different. The skills that you use are a little bit different. The gems that you can use are also different. I don't have all those specific gems, but I will be working on maybe to get those. It really depends on how I'm feeling with the barbarian, but I will be definitely trying out to see the full strength of the barbarian overall until that time. The most important thing for clearing stuff up, I'm currently using this. So I've got Sprint to move around because you kind of need to move around fast. I've got Whirlwind, which is, I'm guessing it's the obvious choice, and I've got Cleave, which I think is a very solid thing to have. And that's a build I made on my own. Both of them, no, the PvP one, I was told to use that one. This one, I did on my own. So let's go and have a look at the rifts, and you guys judge on if it's a class that you want to play. So, as I said, I think the Crusader is a much better melee class because it's also a caster class. I think the Barbarian maybe needs something else. But yeah, just have a look so far. So I popped the Berserker's Rage, popped the Sprint so I'm faster, and already my Whirlwind has run out. All right, you clear everything fast, but that's also based on my resonance. I've got good resonance, like 2.5k, 2.4k, and I've got good gems. Like I got all the good 5 stars, not a 5 out of 5, but you know, I got Bloodsoaked Jade. I've got even Chip of the Stone Flesh for the different builds with Furious Charge. I've got good stuff. All right, and so far I'm not really enjoying the time that it takes for me to clear this. So I'm guessing this run will be a little bit longer. I'm also talking while playing, so I'm not really concentrating on clearing it fast. But you know, maybe this Whirlwind build is not the best. Maybe some different essence would make this to clear this thing faster. Of course, if I had more enemies here bunched up, this would be a faster clear. So let's go and try and find more elites, which is obviously what you need to be doing, just ignoring the ads when trying to push. But you see the elite there dying with the cleave. Until you get to the next enemy, you have the cleaves ready. If you get something like a refresh orb, that's fine. You get 3 cleaves immediately, and that's a lot of burst in damage. But I got so used to the banner on the Crusader would get about 100% chance to crit that now I'm like, oh my god, what are these white numbers that I'm seeing? These are the worst. Where's my banner? Like, I really need a banner. But yeah, so far we're halfway through, and we must be at 2 minutes so far for sure. On the Crusader, the fast rounds would be a minute 10. All right, fast rounds are like a very good rift. The slowest runs would be 2 minutes. The slowest run, like the absolute worst map, no concentration of enemies together, you know, to be able to get those bonuses, and the absolute worst map would be 2 minutes with a Crusader. Right, so this one, yeah, 2 elite packs, that's gonna bring out the boss. But you see, like, I try to pop the Berserker. It doesn't last that long. I've got Vethu set on. I even have the Gray set on, which gives me, you know, an extra boost of damage to the Whirlwind. So now with Berserker, I don't know if I should be doing single target or I should be doing Whirlwind, right? I'm not sure if I should be doing that, because I think Berserker's rage also affects Whirlwind. I might be wrong in that. Just still trying to find out the class. I've only been playing this for 2.5 days now. I switched on Monday. I didn't play that much, so I'm not gonna count it. You'll see from my experience bar, I'm like at the blue experience, but you saw how quickly I did that right now. And
what can I do for you?
I was definitely faster. I am not gonna judge the class though until I get the most of the pieces that I need for the builds. Gonna try it more. So far in the vaults that I've done as a shadow, it absolutely sucked because I get controlled and it's pretty much done. There's no way to protect you. You have the unkillable, the undying rage. You're protected, and that is kind of fun. Okay, having that additional way to protect yourself and be undying, but it doesn't. You're not a threat to them. It's just like, okay, we're gonna pop this barbarian. We're gonna wait out for him. He'll eventually, you know, he'll die. He'll eventually die. That's what happens. And it's not like we're fighting big whales. So I even tried to do the fracture plane and I failed on 14. That's how bad I find, you know, playing the barbarian. Maybe it's just in terms of, you know, knowing which skills to use. With this build specifically, I was trying to run chain spear. Wasn't working that well. I was using cleave, which it was fun looking at the different ways that cleave works. Demoralize is nice to control the enemies. Ground stomp, I didn't like that much because you have to get close to them. It's a charge kind of thing as well, and it really messes with how you have control. But the way that this fracture plane works is that you also need to control them. So maybe I need to work out a different build where I charge them up, I stun them, and then I do all my damage to get the maximum out of it. But these kind of fracture planes where you have to establish control to do more damage, they suck because that doesn't work on the bosses. And the bosses can be very, very annoying. I don't know if it's random the way that bosses pop up, but some of them are very annoying for melee classes, and I found them to be in the same way difficult as I had them with the Crusader, especially that sandstorm guy, whatever it is called. And that was absolutely the worst. But I will stick to the class for a little longer. I can always go back to the Crusader. I've got my items. Like so far I have, you know, 4 pieces essence transferred already. I've got 2 more to essence transfer, and then after that is just getting the specific essences to make the proper builds. But my stats are all like, look at that, 7.7 thousand damage I'm running, and 4.7k combat rating, and 2.3k resonance. All those are very, very solid stats. So yeah, until I find a better build, my opinion of the barbarian is that he's on the bottom of the tier list in terms of the classes so far. Let me know your builds. Let me know your opinions. Tell me which way to go with the barbarian. I know there's very good players out there who want to share their opinion of maybe it's their favorite class. I don't want to judge it, but for now I am judging it a little bit harshly, maybe, until I get everything. And I actually have some good runs where I see the true power of the barbarian. Anyway, thanks guys for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you in the next one. See ya.